Hi, welcome to Earth and Sky. Today I'm with David Barber, and no, we haven't switched places. And he is one of the original co-owners of Man in the Moon Metalworks. They are the amazing group that does all of these, which are amazing. I think you've seen them. If you haven't, go back and look at like the all of our full moon shots that we have. Oh, they're amazing. So anyway, so David and I were having a conversation a while back, and a while back being earlier this week, I think it was, and we actually were at Applebee's, and so we were chatting about the concept of faith, kind of where we're at in this part of our life and where we've come from, things like that. It was really interesting. And we were actually also talking about what we were going to talk about on the show. Then a sweet little waitress comes up to our table and she says, "Hi, my name's Faith." And we were like, well, I guess we know what we're talking about this week on our show. So if you're watching, hi Faith. And so we thought what was interesting was that most people go through phases in their life where their faith changes. Now when we say faith in this instance, he very much likes defined definitions when we're chatting. So so when we were talking about faith in the concept of first your religious faith, and the faith is when we talk about, because we kind of were playing with the idea that there's faith and hope kind of can have overlapping depending on how you're using it. And so we were using faith in the terms of it's something that you have a deep belief in, but that there's just one of those things that there's just no way to prove. So like a lot of people, when you have your faith in your religion, a lot of us, we are kind of brought into the fold at a very young age. So like your parents or whoever raises you usually puts you in these forms of certain religions, and they kind of program an idea into your head. And that becomes this deep faith base because you've just been told by people that you actually have faith in, your elders and your parents, people that are protecting you, stuff like that. And you build your whole life kind of around those things. And you start walking down that path. So most people kind of have their background is whatever their family's background is. And so when we were chatting, it was very interesting because originally you had very deep faith, right? In the religious aspect?
Yes.
Now tell me about, expand upon.
Okay, I was raised in a Protestant, non-denominational church. It had gotten more liberal by the time I was actually introduced to that faith, but originally it was a very strict one. No
and when you say
cosmetics, no.
Oh, that's
no
what you
jewelry,
mean liberal.
You
oh,
don't
okay.
play cards. You don't, no dancing, no.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So all of this stuff.
No fun. Nothing that resembles gambling.
Yes.
Nothing that resembles. What's the jewelry about? Why was?
Because it shows ostentation and pride.
Right, of course. See, I'm so bad. So, okay, now I understand. Yes, please. Okay.
Anyhow, so on the scale of things, it was more liberal. Certainly they wouldn't do anything like acknowledge gay marriages or abortion or anything like that. That would just be
that's way over the top. Right, gotcha.
Anyhow, about junior high and senior high, I was really involved with religion. Really thought that I probably would go into a ministry in some form or another.
So you were dedicated?
Yep. And then gradually there were just little chinks that started happening.
Kind of chipping away at what you considered the faith and the truth of it, and
One of them was a lesson my Sunday school teacher tried to teach me specifically, and that was he showed a couple of Bible verses to me that illustrated why another brand of Protestantism was wrong and we were right, and unfortunately that backfired because I saw that, I see why we believe what we believe about this topic, but I also see why they believe.
What? Yeah,
so
yeah. It's
clearly,
not completely a wrong founded idea, but it's just different.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So you have all of these different types of Protestantism, and the ministers generally have graduate degrees, if not outright doctorates.
Mm-hmm.
They're not stupid people, and if they think that there are different ways of interpreting it, I'm pretty sure they're right.
right, absolutely.
So to say, my way or else, you've just gone off the deep end somewhere.
Well, and that goes with like when we moved out here. There was a time that when we were chatting with someone who was a minister, and they said, well, most people say when you go to a church, yes, there's a base religion to it, but what you're going to is that minister's church. I mean, that's what you're learning, that single person's version of the religion, and that could vary so dramatically you could almost not tell, one from another as a concept. So yeah. Sorry.
That put me off on a whole
Sorry, different thoughts. Yes.
So. We also discussed the difference between, in our discussions about faith, discussed the difference between Catholic Church and Protestant churches.
Right, yes.
And Catholic churches are one of the liturgical churches, meaning that certain lessons, certainly biblical readings on any given day are universal. Every Catholic church is going to be reading the same Bible reading stuff.
Okay.
There are guidelines for any sermon type thing, but that can be made to be applicable to your particular.
Oh, okay. So there is more structure in
so
some
that's,
of them.
yes.
That can actually hold it.
And some of the liturgical churches are also considered Protestants, like the Anglican Church liturgical and
liturgical sounds like a detergent.
Lutheran.
Sounds like it's great for stains. I'm sorry, it's just what it sounds like.
So anyway.
But yeah, so
back to my chink. So the fact that the Bible was open to interpretation sort of was the opening of the door for me seeing that this wasn't the solid foundation I thought.
Oh, okay.
I was dealing with.
Yeah.
More things came to pass that just really totally undermined my belief.
One of the things that you had said was that your mom was like, you're not allowed to go to another church. She did not want you exposed to anything else. Do you think that might have planted the seed like a little bit that, why did she want me not to look around so much? I mean, just in a sense of like just giving you the curiosity that.
Okay, I tried to make that story briefer, but essentially I had friends in various faiths. I had Catholic friends, I had Pentecostal friends, and Mom was sure I would convert if I ever went to one of those churches.
She had no faith in her faith.
She had no faith in my faith.
In your faith. Oh,
yes.
Faith.
So, this harkens back to the Bible lessons that my Sunday school teacher had, specifically for me.
Okay.
So, I was supposed to be doing a specific thing on Tuesday night, but one of my friends who was Pentecostal invited me to their church on a Tuesday night, and I didn't want to do what I was supposed to be doing on Tuesday night.
I'm assuming it wasn't bowling or something.
No, it was Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I can see
Boy
that.
Scouts, our scout leader was a military policeman.
Oh,
and
you
so
said
we
a drill sergeant, basically.
Yep, so
Oh,
we were
yeah.
doing calisthenics for scout meetings, and they started having a lot of problem with absenteeism.
Yeah, shock. Oh.
So they started calling parents if you didn't show up to scouts.
Wow. Okay,
So I'm not sure how Mom realized that instead of going to Scouts, I went to a Pentecostal church, but when I got home, she read me the Riot Act. And then Sunday morning, my Sunday school teacher confronted me with the Bibles,
right.
like the Bible reading on Pentecost. And that's the one where I saw, well, I see why we believe the way we do, and they believe the way they do.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So I guess, yes, the fact that Mom
Was so adamant.
adamant, but I mean, the whole church thing, when a religion tells you don't ask questions, that's because they know it's going to undermine your faith.
Yeah.
And I suppose in my case, that was true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's.
But, you know,
Yeah.
it runs against who I am to not ask questions.
That's what, yeah. I mean, and ideally, I mean, seriously, ideally, shouldn't they go, well, what does it mean to you? I mean, you ask you questions. I think you should push for questions and answers, because if you can't answer them, it seems like a con then, to me personally. I mean, that's the only other thing I can associate it to is, you know, the things where people are trying to get you to believe one thing, but don't ask any questions. There's religion and cons, and that's kind of, you know, which is unfortunate. Now, the one thing that we were chatting that surprised me was, so you said you're agnostic? Is that right? Okay. See, he has great words. He's got these great words. So you're agnostic, which, so basically you are open to that any of it's possible, but you really don't have any faith that any of it necessarily is true.
I would say that's true.
Does that sound about right?
I'm pretty sure some of it, as spelled out by various religions, isn't true.
Okay.
The fact
So you got
that
the nose
God would
down.
have a chosen people is just like, why
Ridiculous.
did he create everybody else if he has a chosen people?
Right. How about that? How about that? Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but I'm open to the fact that there could be a creator spirit.
Okay.
It seems inconceivable to me that this is just it, although because I have nothing to go on, I'm not one of those people that can tap into previous lives if previous lives exist. So, you know, from my experience, I blinked into life, and when
It's
you
done.
know this is done, I could possibly just blink out.
And that's it.
But I have no real expectations. I mentioned to you that my favorite famous last words, and unfortunately I can't remember who said them, was, "And now for the great adventure." Because,
You never know.
you know,
'Cause
this is what we, you know, sort
Well,
of been waiting
that's
for.
the adventure, right? The one that you
Yes.
don't know the most.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I found that so interesting. Is that not interesting? Because see, your story is so interesting because we are so different in the way we think and approach life and all of that. And mine, I mean, the minute I hit the door to church, I'm like, what? No, but what about? And they're like, get out. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it was just bang, bang, bang. We're done. And I was okay with that. And so, and yet at the same time, I'm very open to and have a wider range of beliefs that are deeply faith and, you know, driven in how I see things. Like everything from, I truly believe what we expect to happen plays an enormous part in how we transition. And I mean, there's all this stuff that goes, you know, it's very, and I think I have this extremely complicated view of all of it, and I still think my view is probably so like an ant's mentality base to what it really is. You know what I mean? I think even no matter how complex you can come up with it, I think it's probably even more than that, because we're such simple creatures compared to what it, you know, this universe that we live in. And so I just thought that that was a very interesting thing. I wanted to share it. And so
I would have to say, as an agnostic, I'm just going like, well, yeah, that's possible.
That's possible too. But you don't have any absolute, oh yeah, that absolutely rings true for me. That's the part that surprises me, because I hear ones all the time and I go, that definitely sounds like that could be true. And then I have to go through and shuffle it and go, well, but it kind of goes against this one that I think, and it goes against that. Yeah, probably not then. And I'm constantly doing that to revise what I think, but I have this deep thing that I believe. And I just, to just be like, it's possible, but nothing grabs you, just shocks me. Is that, nothing grabs you?
No.
Wow. We're so different. It's awesome. I love that we're so different. We have great conversations about this stuff. So, is there anything else you want to?
No, but I would like to say that I think because we're both willing to talk about different ideas, that we're different, but we're not like opposite or completely different.
Oh, no. We just our approach to our things are so different, and that's what makes it so interesting. Yeah, it's fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love, yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, unless he disagrees, and then he's wrong, so.
He has the T-shirt to prove it. Unfortunately, he's not wearing it tonight.
Oh, right, yeah. It's okay if you disagree with me, because I can't force you to be right. I love that shirt. So, okay, well, I guess that's it. We hope you liked this, and if you did, please hit the like button. If you didn't, I guess you don't have to. Share it and subscribe, and we will see you hopefully next Sunday. And this coming Sunday, I know I said it last time, my beautiful blushing?
She also brushes.
Brushing bride. My wife, she should be back. And she had a nice trip out of the country to Italy, so she should have some fun stuff. She may even have a video from there, I'm not sure honestly. So here's to knowing. So all right, appreciate it. Thanks for watching.